So I don't know what came over me, but I started getting really interested in what celebrities have theorized about the apocalypse, about the end times. And we know for a fact that plenty of tech CEO billionaires have built underground bunkers in preparation for a societal collapse or a nuclear holocaust. And that includes allegedly Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, and plenty of others. But which celebrities have gone to the same lengths to prepare for the end times? Because that really confirms that they believe that we're in the end times, right? And then we can find out what they really think about the world and the meaning of the stories that they tell.
I mean, maybe, or maybe it's like once you reach a certain tax bracket, you just like, you've run out of things that you can, like, you can afford pretty much anything. So you have to start finding extra. You're like, you know what? I can afford anything I want. And out of an abundance of caution, you build the bunker.
But at that point, I would think, like, I don't really want to live past the mushroom cloud, to be honest. I don't know.
You'd rather just call it a day?
Coincidentally, as I was looking into this, I found out that Miley Cyrus's mother, Tish Cyrus, was recently on a podcast where she revealed she has insider knowledge of Will Smith's underground bunker and also an underground network of tunnels below all of LA.
I mean, if I had the money, I'd just build a bunker just cause, even if I didn't think that the world was going to collapse. I want a bunker. I also, like, whenever if I ever make enough money to own a home, I'm going to put a room behind a bookcase with a book that goes like this.
Oh, yeah.
And opens.
Yeah. So take note in this clip of the way that the podcast host and also Tish's daughter Brandy are cutting her off when she tries to talk about this. It's really weird.
LA tunnels.
Oh,
okay,
Molly.
That's not real.
She's convinced.
I've heard the LA tunnels are real. I heard Will Smith has a whole underground bunker in LA.
I believe
when
it.
shit goes down and there's all kinds of and
Oh, really?
and all have this whole thing.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys could probably just like figure it out because you're closer
yeah, maybe.
than the rest of us. You could be like, hey.
I just think there's all kinds of stuff that's gonna happen, and that it's just
She loves a conspiracy.
But I don't think they're conspiracies. I think they're true.
That's what all conspiracy theories
No,
say.
like
Yeah.
the government is the people that came up with the word conspiracy theory anyway.
That's what they all say.
No,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
Why are they trying to silence Tish? Oh my goodness.
Let her live.
Let her cook. She's onto something, and they definitely cut her off when she tried to say, Miley told me.
I think it's more out of embarrassment. I think that there's like secondhand embarrassment for her. She's like, oh my God.
Yeah, like, Mom, please. But
Like,
she literally said, Miley told me, and then she got interrupted.
Yeah.
But allegedly, Miley told her mother that there is an underground network of tunnels below LA, and that Will Smith has an apocalyptic bunker on one of his properties.
Like I said, like if that's kind of a bad look though, right? Like imagine you spend all this money on your one underground bunker, but you're not there. Like you're at another one of your properties when the world comes to an end, and you're like,
such a drag.
One
of the comments also said Tish spilling and her daughter is trying to protect her by interrupting.
No, I think it's more like, look, people in the chat are like, yeah, they're getting weirdly defensive. Yes, it's possible that these other two could be part of a deep, shadowy cabal of government and celebrity oversight that are there to protect the underground tunnels from the rest of us. Or she could just be embarrassed and like, my mom's being a QAnon weirdo again. And
well, okay, she was correct that
where
the government...
Where we go we go to the mall. And
Tish was correct that the government did, in fact, create the term conspiracy theorist to slander the people who are talking about actual conspiracies. And then they discredited her for saying that. And if there were some shadowy organization or whatever you're referring to, Miley Cyrus is probably somebody who would be on the inside of that. So
maybe that's what like when you join the Illuminati and you get the black eye, that's how you get your permit to build your bunker.
So Will Smith is allegedly one of these celebrities who has a bunker, but there is another rumored list of them that includes Kim Kardashian, Shaquille O'Neal, and Tom Cruise.
Well, so here's the thing. Tom Cruise would have to build a special bunker for someone short, and Shaquille O'Neal would have to build a bunker for someone tall.
Right.
So they have to have different contractors for that to different specs. Because, like, what happens if Shaquille O'Neal ends up in Tom Cruise's bunker? That's not going to take.
No, that's not going to work out for them.
All that
believe
Shaq shoe
the-
and gummy money is going to his bunker.
The Scientologists 100% have
yeah.
a Scientology
Tom
bunker.
Cruise has probably had the bunker longer than
Yes.
the rest of them, if I'm
Yes,
guessing.
for sure. So there's also confirmed an underground bunker in Utah owned by Post Malone.
Yep, he's
And
talked
it's
about it.
really dumb of him to talk about it openly.
My hope is that he's got two, and that's like his distraction.
decoy.
That's his decoy bunker. Like, all the weapons in there are airsoft, and the other bunker has the real
Yeah.
weapons.
He says that he has been planning and constructing an underground bunker beneath his Utah home, which he designed to be prepared for potential apocalyptic scenarios. It's expected to include 30 bunk beds, air filtration systems, water purification, and long-term food storage. He also said in an interview that you know when you've made it when you leave society, you pick up all your stuff, move to the middle of the woods, and never talk to anyone again.
See, this is what I was talking about on IRL. I said all the domestic terrorists who hated America or hated the American government would end up buying plots of land for like no money. And I was like, how can you even be miserable when you bought like a plot of land for like $5 and a pack of bubble gum?
There are other confirmed celebrity preppers, including Ronda Rousey.
Okay, so here's the funny thing.
She has a Doomsday Ranch in California.
Pretty much every police procedural, right, does at least one episode on preppers where they're all portrayed as just nut
Wackos.
jobs.
Well, a lot of them
wackos.
are, but I would
They're like, you go into the
say-
bunker and like there's gold bars, there's food. I think the show was it Elementary did a funny episode where a guy is selling you space in a luxury bunker for the end of the world, and it ends up being fake. He's selling you space in a bunker that doesn't exist.
Nice.
So it was like some type of weird scam.
some like apocalypse MLM.
Yeah.
Kanye West also is the owner of an Armageddon bunker in Malibu.
That's where he keeps all his Hitler merch.
I mean, this is still unverified because I think he'd be smarter than to tell people about an underground bunker, but this might be Kim Kardashian's safe house when it all goes down.
And he's just like, can I come in? And she's like, I don't know, man. Like, you're definitely not bringing Bianca.
And then they say Steven Seagal has...
Steven Seagal?
Yeah, has a bulletproof desert mansion in Arizona, probably with safe rooms constructed inside. Rihanna has a fortress with 60-foot high ceilings, huge walls of glass, originally built in 1994.
It's called Project Umbrella, I bet.
And then I think they said Joan Rivers had one, but maybe her estate owns it now. Dr. Dre is listed here. There's, of course, Mark Zuckerberg. His is in Hawaii.
I wonder if Eminem has tunnels under 8 Mile.
I don't think Eminem is a prepper. He doesn't give me those vibes. And then I
much
looked
of a
into, like, beyond just the claims that some of these celebrities have underground bunkers, I want to know, what do these people actually believe is going to collapse society or, you know, cause the human population to go extinct? And of course, you already know, we're talking about celebrities. A lot of them believe it's going to be a climate disaster. Miley Cyrus is one of those people. She said that she won't have kids because the earth is angry and climate change is what convinced her not to start a family. So she probably thinks it's the climate. And then Leonardo DiCaprio, of course, is a total climate wacko. He actually narrated a documentary about the climate crisis called Before the Flood, which was featured on the UN website. And he is a UN messenger of peace, whatever that means. In this documentary, he travels to 5 continents and the Arctic to uncover the reality of climate change. And basically, they think that the world is going to flood. Morgan Freeman has also talked about an impending apocalyptic event, but he didn't go into much detail. He was
that's
appearing
nice.
on The View.
I like the idea of him being mysterious about his ideas.
Morgan Freeman, back in 2023, told The View co-hosts dead in the eye and told them the apocalypse is coming. He said, "I'm one of those people who's very interested in this subject, life on the planet. And you understand that today, life on this planet is in a little bit of trouble and we're the cause of it." So he's being vague. "There have been, if I remember correctly, 6 extinction level events on the planet since life began. 6 times large portions of life, not human life, just life, have gone destroyed. We're headed for another one. Scientists have said if we don't hurry up and change our ways, there's going to be a cataclysmic event that will wipe many of us off the face of the earth." I assume that if he really believes that, he might also be constructing a bunker. I wasn't able to find a source on it, but I also heard that Chris Pine has talked about thinking the apocalypse will come because we're too dependent on technology and that society is going to collapse the second the electrical grid goes down.
There's definitely an argument to be made that people have gotten so far away from the ability to use survival skills that Darwinism will kick back into effect, like really,
Yeah.
like all of society has been, in effect, a way to prevent Darwinism from actually taking effect. Like we do everything in our power to prevent the deaths of others, you know, based on their own stupidity or ineptitude, and that's most people. Right? Like most people, you send them out into the woods and ask them to build a fire and survive. Most don't. And that's why it's kind of like the phrase is always like the only thing a conspiracy theorist gets if he's right is to say, "I told you so."
Well,
Like,
not if he dies.
but the prepper, however, gets to say not only "I told you so," but also survive.
Yes.
He gets to say "I told you so" to your corpse.
Right. Yeah.
So.
I don't know if that's really that appealing to me. I've never understood
You're just like
it. I would be fine with dying.
Okay.
The most bizarre view on the end times that I found from a celebrity thus far is Demi Lovato.
What did she say?
I think she's more of the mind that aliens are going to invade the Earth.
Well, I mean, she is
said,
the woman that sang a song for a ghost who went through sexism, right?
But here's the catch. She doesn't think that aliens are going to be the cause of the apocalypse. She thinks that when the world goes to nuclear war and we're facing nuclear apocalypse, aliens will save us from a nuclear apocalypse, but only if everyone meditates really hard.
I didn't see that episode of The X-Files, but I could have missed it.
Yeah, she says she is dug deep into the science of consciousness and experienced not only peace and serenity like she'd never known, but also witnessed the most incredibly profound sightings in the sky as well as feet away from her. And now she's gleaned that we have to meditate to save the planet from very negative paths toward destruction. If we get 1% of the population to meditate and make contact, we could force our governments to acknowledge the truth about extraterrestrial life among us and change our destructive habits, destroying the planet. So, we can gain favor with the alien race that invades us and they will save us from ourselves.
Suppose that's the gray. That's the evil grays, not the greens. The greens are going to be too benevolent and probably be taken out by the grays.
Like, this is what she's thinking about on a daily basis. Like, why are you worried about the yogurt shop not giving you the yogurt that you wanted?
When all of this stuff is going on, order of importance.
Aliens, lady.
That kind of reminds me, guys. After a much long-awaited period of time, JB Spooky Reviews did put out his review of the X-Files movie. It's 40 minutes long, and it's fantastic. And after this episode, and then after you watch my Fantastic Four review, you should watch his 40-minute video on the X-Files movie Fight the Future, which is fantastic.
Now, the last example here is Jim Caviezel, who is Catholic and likely aligned most with my view of the end times. He gave an interview in 2023 where he said we're in an apocalyptic moment.
Person of interest reference, just because I can.
Reset the counter.
Reset the counter. Here we go.
We're in a I would say, an apocalyptic moment right now. I think of the words that Jesus talks about when people say, when is the end coming? And Jesus looks, why do you ask me for the signs of the times? You look at the clouds and you know it will rain, and so it does. Why do you ask me this? Can you not see what's going on? Can you not see that we don't have a country anymore? By definition, you have to have borders. We don't have a border. Why would you continue to listen to a media that's lying to you every day? You know, a couple years ago, I'm on talking about adrenochrome. You can't say that word. You cannot say anything bad on George Soros. Do you know that he owns many of these companies like the Daily Beast? Boy, they sure had their fun tearing me apart. I lost my agents, 17 years, and my other agent of 15 years, because they listened to them. You think you have a selection? Sorry, you think you know what the truth is. You don't. You have a selection. You're not free. And God wants you to be free. I'm talking about the God of Christ, Jesus.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he saved us from an AI apocalypse, so as far as I'm concerned.
He's referencing everything that he's had to sacrifice in his career for, first off, talking about his faith, of course, starring in Passion of the Christ, but also from his comments there, talking about his beliefs on the end times. I would say for Christians, the popular sentiment should be you're not going to know, and you're not supposed to try to find out, because it's not knowledge that rightfully belongs to you. This is on God's timing, and like, yes, stay vigilant, stay prepared in a reasonable fashion, but don't think that you can save yourself.
It's also annoying for him, especially because like the Hollywood left can be doomerist about climate change all they want and basically tell you the same thing. The world's coming to an end. Rivers of fire and and oceans swallowing your buildings whole. And that's okay. But his is not acceptable because it's based in religious theology rather than scientific ideas.
Rather than a pseudo-religion.
Yeah.
As trite as that is to point out, it's true.
Thank you. I wasn't going to be the one, but yes.
Yeah.
The point is that they talk about this ability to be open and tolerant, but they're really not. Now, my pragmatic side is like, bro, like, if you need to make a living, you might have to sacrifice saying some shit.
True.
But at this point, he's made his money, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's made his money. So, like, again, like, that might just be your own bias. Like, if this was an actor that I wasn't so fond of, I might be like, well, you know what, bro? Like, you got a job. Sometimes you got to cool it because you got to go along to get along. But if you've made your money,
undeniable,
you can go ahead and do whatever you want.
Undeniable that he has left millions of dollars on the table. For his beliefs, and I think that's admirable.
He was on the rise leading up to the Passion of the Christ, and I'll never forget when somebody said that. This was all like hearsay. I don't know if that's even true, but the idea was like when he got the call about Passion of the Christ, Mel Gibson called him and was like, "Want to destroy your career with me?" And he's like, "Sure." Yeah. Like even if that story's kind of.
I would love to know what Mel Gibson thinks about the end times.
His Rogan interview was pretty interesting. So, all right.
Yeah, I just wanted to get into that, not so we can all like dive down a rabbit hole that leads nowhere, but because most pragmatically, if you know what these people believe about the destiny of humanity and this planet, you can better understand how they choose to tell stories and what stories they decide to tell through their artistic medium. It, I think, illuminates a lot.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.